Today I have a story for you that will tie together two very important life lessons. First, never trust those shady Instagram ads, and second, if you're a gun owner in New Jersey, you probably shouldn't trust law enforcement either. Damned if you do, damned if you don't, and then triple damned for living in America's armpit. Today I'm going to tell you a little ditty about New Jersey resident Matthew Moran and how an order from the Instagram equivalent of Wish got him raided by the feds and charged as an international arms trafficker. I know it sounds like nothing in that sentence should go together, but here we are. So Matt Moran from New Jersey was innocently scrolling through Instagram one day and saw this ad for fuel filters. But when the package arrived, something was a little off. The package came from China and looked to him more like suppressors than fuel filters.
Danger! Danger!
Moran took a ride down to his local Napa Auto Parts where a friend confirmed his suspicions that the items in the box weren't fuel filters at all, and believe it or not, Moran also wasn't the only one who had ordered them by mistake. Apparently for later that doesn't matter. New Jersey law specifically encourages people to surrender silencers and other super dangerous destructive devices to the police and promises that anyone who voluntarily drops these items off will not be prosecuted or convicted for unlawful possession. Allegedly. So, Mr. Moran, citizen do-gooder, who is a volunteer firefighter and was the town fire chief until his arrest, by the way, brought his fake fuel filters to the local police department and explained what happened. He told the police detective that he had made 2 orders through the ad, but that only one had arrived. He told the cops he would be canceling the second order. It all seemed fine and dandy at the time, so Moran went home and canceled the second order through the vendor, with PayPal, and with his bank. To be extra super duper double sure, he even called the local post office and let them know he was refusing delivery of any package from the seller. He did more than his due diligence. And yet, somehow, 10 days later, the second order showed up. He immediately took it down to the police department for a voluntary surrender, exactly as he'd done before. But it turns out that the government has no interest in obeying its own laws. Surprising, I know.
Well, imagine my shock.
New Jersey sucks so bad that the local cops had a group of federal and state agents waiting to arrest him, which is pretty dang suspicious and makes me wonder if this was some bizarre B-movie entrapment scheme. What exactly did they arrest him for? Well, according to the Bergen County prosecutor, Moran is being charged with possession of prohibited weapons and devices, the exact thing he was supposed to have immunity for. The prosecutor also claims that the arrest was the result of an intensive Homeland Security investigation into international arms trafficking. Yep. According to the press release, during an international arms trafficking investigation conducted by the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office Special Investigations Squad and Homeland Security Investigations, Matthew Moran was identified as a person of interest in receiving shipments of suppressors, also called silencers. These illegal silencers were purchased by Moran from a company based in China and smuggled through the mail to his residence in Carlstadt, New Jersey. Smuggled. Yes, he smuggled them so hard that he smuggled them right down into the local police department. This guy is clearly the Tony Montana of suppressors.
Say hello to my little friend! Pew, 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 pew.
And get this, the same day that they arrested him, DHS executed a search warrant and found numerous firearms, high-capacity magazines, thousands of rounds of ammo, and police-issued ballistic vests. So basically, they found the contents of pretty much every gun owner's closet.
Well, I think possibly, yes, a boating
That's
accident.
not what you told me over the phone.
As scary as those items were, the fact that they existed in Moran's possession is a moot point and really has nothing to do with the arrests. The guns, ammo, and vests were 100% legal. The mags are the subject of an ongoing federal legal challenge, and he's not facing any charges over them. The only thing he's being charged with is 4 counts of possession of prohibited devices for the suppressors that he thought were fuel filters. The same suppressors that he tried to surrender and, in the case of the first package, already had surrendered. In Jersey, possession of prohibited devices is a felony offense. It's a 4th-degree crime punishable by a $10,000 fine and up to 18 months in state prison. So, hypothetically, with 4 counts, that would be 6 years in jail for buying something by accident and giving it to the police.
Jeez, that ending sucks.
Moran's attorney says it perfectly. In other words, in response to Moran's initiating contact with law enforcement, voluntarily surrendering a package of questionable fuel filters that he received, informing the authorities about a second potential package, and doing everything that he could to stop its delivery, government surveilled him, followed him, and set up a trap to arrest him. It is true that there are folks out there that buy fuel filters as a sort of 80% silencer kit for their Form 1s, but I feel like if that's what Moran was trying to do, and illegally, he probably wouldn't have told the cops. And of course, local CBS is totally unreliable and couldn't even get the charges right, claiming he's being charged with illegal weapon possession because apparently they couldn't be bothered to even read the press release. Same with NBC, except with the addition of claiming Moran as part of an international smuggling ring and was armed to the teeth. And then these idiots wonder why people don't trust them. The press release isn't even 300 words long and the news can't report on it accurately. Was this a setup? It certainly sounds like a possibility. A single solitary article found by a user over at ARFCOM mentions that the arrest came after a, quote, controlled delivery, and I have saved that page with archive in case they decide to change it. So at best, we have a case of Joe Citizen trying to do the right thing and the government entrapping him for it. But clearly, these are the officers and feds that care about the Constitution and the Second Amendment. That's it for today's video. It certainly was a doozy, but honestly, not all that surprising to me at this point, which is so bad to say. As always, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're new here. Drop a comment down below. And if you really like my work and want to help support it in other ways, you can check out my merch store, find me over at Patreon or Subscribestar, or give a one-time donation through PayPal or crypto. As always, thanks for tuning in, stay safe, and happy shooting.